move your life forward in the most positive way using astrology? Then let's talk about the astrological patterns for July 2018. I have been focusing on the powerful astrology in July for many months, and I've been talking about it in prior videos and in my newsletter. July is eclipse month. We have two very powerful eclipses and we have Mercury going retrograde, so three great big events taking place. The first eclipse is toward the middle of the month on July 12th. So this particular new moon in Cancer, this is a partial eclipse, but it's still incredibly powerful because of exact opposition to Pluto. And what's going on is we still have the Mars in Aquarius squaring Uranus energy, stirring everything up. This eclipse taking place in Cancer is highly sensitive, it's emotional. This is when you're going to need to nurture yourself and nurture others and engage in the dynamic of compassion. What you need to understand is that Pluto, exactly opposite the Sun and Moon, is likely to bring up some things that need to be healed in your own consciousness and bring up things that need to be healed in the collective. It's a little bit of a vulnerable time, and there's all this emotional water energy circulating. As a matter of fact, just 2 days prior to this eclipse, Jupiter will go direct in Scorpio. And what that does is release a lot of the emotional energy. And in a way, that's really beautiful because we can engage our feelings and our heart. So be very mindful of the middle part of July during that eclipse time in Cancer, and make sure that you are paying attention to exactly how you need to be emotionally nurtured and nourished at that time. The next major marker in July will be the total lunar eclipse on the 27th in Aquarius. So first and foremost, if you have any planets in your chart or angles in the early degrees of Aquarius, you're going to be highly activated by this eclipse, and you're also being activated by the Mars transit. If you don't, that's okay. This is still very powerful. This eclipse on the 27th will be conjunct Mars. And what is so incredibly important about that is it's moving our belief systems about humanity, about our positivity about the world, about connecting with each other mindfully. It's moving that forward. And talk about volatile, how we manage this eclipse is incredibly important, not only in the world, but in our own psyche. The total lunar eclipse on the 27th is preceded by Mercury going retrograde just a day before. And Mercury will be retrograde in Leo. And isn't that interesting? Because the eclipse is in Aquarius, which is objectivity, humanitarian energy, and getting away from ego. It's about connecting with the whole, whereas the Leo energy is more about ego, the sense of self, and your own personal confidence level. So Mercury going retrograde in Leo gives us an opportunity to reevaluate ego issues. Certainly it's a confidence boosting time. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to love who we are. We need to work on those beliefs. But it is stepping away from ego for a bit and working on connecting with humanity in the larger level. This time frame in the second half of July is so extremely important, and it's going to carry the energy into the end of August. Be mindful of what's going on in your life at that time. Be aware of what other people around you are saying and how you are reacting to it, because that total lunar eclipse is teaching us how to be objective. July is incredibly important on so many levels, and we have so much happening in the earth that it's going to continue probably through the fall. Earth changes, the volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, weather changes. It's not all negative, but there is a sense of urgency in the air to have a healing. And we're going to see major activation in July in our own consciousness to go to the next level. And remember, that eclipse at the end of July is really about unconditional love. It is about seeing the soul behind the behavior. It's remembering that we are all connected on that larger level. So to summarize the astrological patterns for July, just remember the partial eclipse on July 12th in Cancer is very emotional and gritty and powerful. And then we have the total eclipse on July 27th in Aquarius, almost at the same time when Mercury goes retrograde in Leo. Use July well, navigate through these waters with peace and with calm. We can do this. Thank you. I'm Kathy Rose.